Hello.
Hello, hello.
Well, welcome everyone. We're having a bit of a technical issue here. I don't know where I am, but I'm here somewhere. So we'll just hit it off. Welcome to CPL TV, the team reveal for season 7. I got the 3 admins with me, and this is starting to become some kind of like a tradition now, hosting this. And yeah, I got Stromcon, Snipe, and Set Zero, and we're ready to reveal some teams, I think. But first of all, let's hear it from the admins. And well, if we have any new people in here that are new to CPL, why don't you introduce yourself and explain what you do in the administration team? Go, go. Start with Snipe.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys know who I am. The head admin of CPL. I ran CPL 1 and 4, 5, 6, 7 now. Um, yeah, I don't know. I play Protoss. If you don't know, B rank. I've just been like permanently B rank. Oh, look, Age appeared on the screen. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just here, happy to be here. Excited to get this team reveal going and introduce you guys to your teams.
All right. Next up, Strom.
Hey guys, I'm Strom. I've been on the CPL team since CPL season 5. But the first CPL I played in was CPL 4, and you can see the token of that on my MCMS scarf in this graphic. I kind of work a lot on, I guess, like changes that we make from season to season, and like trying to improve like the format of the league and moving things forward, and kind of like, I guess, CPL's version of HR and organizing people. And I actually built the teams, so I'm excited to reveal them to you guys today. And yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You heard that. If there's any problems with the teams, you know who to go to. Don't DM me, DM Strom.
All right.
No comment.
And then we got Site Zero.
Hey everyone, I'm Sade Zero. My voice still kind of cooked after yesterday. If you missed it, we did that Coach Show match. Me and Cold War against Castanet. It was a great time. Go check out the VODs. It was awesome. But I'm one of the casting coordinators for the league. Been for a couple seasons. Mainly, all I do is pretend to be staff and talk about StarCraft twice a week on our Match of the Week streams.
All right.
Age equals volume 1, everyone else equals volume 99.
Oh my god. Is it better now?
And there's an echo. We're professional here at CPL, as you can tell.
Is there an
We do
echo?
it live.
Shouldn't be an echo.
I definitely didn't show up exactly when the stream was supposed to start.
I don't know why.
Me either.
Echo. Is it better now?
It's better, somebody says.
Testing, testing.
Everyone's saying it sounds like a camera mic. I don't know. Whatever.
The echo is very slight.
I think my mic should be okay. It's an external mic.
I'll just remove this then, and this, and see what happens. Is it better now?
And hope for the best. It's just Age's.
As you guys can tell, we are well prepared for this stream tonight.
Yeah. Well, for your information, I haven't
totally
streamed in a
okay 20
long
minutes
while,
before.
so I think it's yeah. I hope it's better now. It should be good. All right, so let's start off with talking a bit about the new season. This is season 7. Do we have any new features or anything new added that we haven't seen before?
About 80 new people.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, right?
About 80 more people, yeah.
Huge jump in people this season for sure. What was
Yeah.
that? 239 last season, original signups. 311 this season.
Oh my god.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
getting
awesome.
bigger every season, yeah. I think that, like, honestly, if we're gonna talk about stuff that's new this season, I want to start by giving, like, a huge shout out to Sashin, aka Statues, who has been working since last season to automate a lot of the stuff that we do behind the scenes. If you guys don't know, like we're running like a 300-person league here, and we do it manually off of Google spreadsheets, or we have in the past. Like it's a disaster. Like our setup is not good, not good. And he has improved that drastically, and it's a really good thing that he has because the season is bigger than ever, and it's becoming a size that is almost impossible to run the way that we've been running it. So.
Very true. Just to add on to what you said there, yeah, preseason was still, by hand. But hopefully once we get the teams going here and everything, Statue's designed a system that'll helpfully help the team admins and the staff and just make everything run more smoothly. So look out for that. I'm excited to introduce that to you guys.
Yeah, honestly, like I don't know how much of a difference it will make to like the average person playing, but I think it'll free like us as staff up a lot more to do other things rather than just like inputting stuff into the spreadsheet. And I think it'll make a difference for team admins, like a small difference as well. So that's nice. What other changes have we made? We got a lot of really great feedback after last season, guys. To be honest, like thank you guys for filling out that feedback form. I think we got over 100 people that filled it out. And there was a lot of like really useful stuff in there for us.
Yeah, definitely. Would agree with that. What else? More teams this season. More people, more teams.
Yeah.
Season 6 there was 6 teams. Season 7 teams. Maybe.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, I guess like at the beginning of this season, something that I've been kind of like tossing around in my mind probably for like honestly like 8 months, like before last season, but we didn't do it last season, and we kind of did it this season, was the coaching that happened during preseason. Yeah. So my kind of idea behind that was to give coaches something to do between the signups and the regular season, because usually there's a huge gap and people can like forget about CPL in that time. And also to like inform the coaches and the players of who is coaching and who is playing, so people can actually request like teammates and coaches more accurately on for like the draft or whatever. Because in the past we've had people sign up on Team Liquid at the beginning, and a lot of the times we get a lot of requests for like people who don't even end up signing up for that season, or like coaches that aren't signed up. So I think that helped. I don't think I was quite proactive enough for it to have a big impact on that specifically this season. But I think it had a small impact on having the sign up form later. And I think in the future, if we keep pursuing that, it'll get better.
Yeah. Well, I think it was great with the sign up form.
The sign up form alone saved so much work.
Yeah, I mean, just the Liquid page,
typing everything in.
Page, and trying to figure out. Yeah. I mean, it's easier to like remove duplicates and stuff, and yeah. So now I'm low again. I don't know what's happening here, but maybe this works. Is this better?
Turn yourself up all the way, 200%.
What the?
Okay, you turned up in Discord.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know.
okay.
Now I guess the echo is back.
You're totally a fine volume for me, and you're just at 100%. So I have no idea what's going on. This call is like quality is perfect. Discord call is on point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now is it better now? Now I put on a lot of gain here. Yeah, I should be like 20 pounds heavier right now, so
I'll think that's how sound works. 20 pounds heavier.
Are you running the stream in the background?
No, I don't think so. Oh, I don't have anything on here, so I don't know why it's why there's an echo. But I'll try to figure that out. So keep talking, guys. Keep talking.
Talk.
Okay, what else can I talk about? Oh, I also I think so if you guys noticed on the sign up form, there was a couple differences between that and like what we used to ask for on Team Liquid. One of the differences was that instead of asking, like having people volunteer to help out under the other section, we had like a specific checkbox where you could check if you want to be a team admin. So I was able to like contact everybody who volunteered to be a team admin in advance of the team reveal stream, and kind of help get people set up. So hopefully, like today, after the teams get revealed and we add everybody's roles on Discord. So that's what we'll be frantically doing after the stream ends, in case anybody's curious.
Yes.
And also, if you're just like a public service announcement, if your Discord nickname is currently not set to what your screen name was that you submit on your sign up sheet, you should just go add that in your nickname, okay? Because that helps us a lot when we're trying to add your roles.
Trying to get you into your teams.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people we got to add into the Discord channels. So.
Yeah. But anyway, that the team admin box I think helped, and then the other thing that I asked Sasha to add was an availability tab. So a lot of you guys noticed that I had you like submit like what times of day you're free, and I'll talk about this a little bit more when we start talking about teams, but like I used that instead of just time zones to determine like who goes where, because I think in the past, like for the most part people play in the evenings, but that's not the case for everybody. So
all right,
is your issue fixed? Am I done killing time?
I think that code should be gone now, but I'm not sure. I've been putting on every single setting here that I can do, and I've been adjusting the microphone as well. So and now I'm low again. What the hell?
You can't find that perfect balance.
Yeah.
It's a CPL tradition. You're having trouble running the stream for some reason. Of course you are. It's a CPL event.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Hey, State Zero, what's new with casting this season?
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah.
Wait, you're here. You gotta pay your dues, man.
God damn it! All right. No.
Pay your
I mean, didn't I yesterday with that nice show match? I put in the effort. It's okay. Really, as far as casting goes at the moment, there's not a whole lot that is like new compared to what we did before. Anyone that signed in the sign up sheet that have an interest in casting, I'm gonna make sure I DM everyone some information about it. After we're done with the stream today, I'm doing that all today. So it's apparently got nothing to go to. No one's running barbecues in America. I feel sad. But we got a couple new casting coordinators that are helping out. It's still me in the blind like always, but we stepped up Cold Warp Gates. Finally, like he's done enough work, so just finally gave him the title he actually deserves for helping. And then a Pancake Princess also going to be helping us out with some of the casting coordinator duties, which is nice. Always good to have a couple more hands like helping out, a couple more time zones in the mix to make things a little easier for everybody. We're still doing match of the week. We're probably going back to Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but we'll have a couple like EU editions thrown in every so often. I'll probably be Pancake Princess on Thursdays, but you know what? It's kind of the same thing we've been doing because it feels like it's been working well.
All right. Oh, it's just cutting the sound. Yeah. All right. Should we head into revealing the teams? I mean, the chat is going bananas here. They're like, what's up with the sound? What's up with the echo? So let's give them something else to think about here. Are you guys ready for this?
I'm ready. I barely know the teams.
I mean, yeah, I don't know the teams at all. Can't wait.
It's a reveal for half of us, too.
All right, so the first team looks like this. And it is Sashen. Is that statues?
That is.
Yeah, I call him Sashin. I don't know why. I think he uses that ID somewhere, and I decided that I'm going to use that one for him instead of statues, which he uses everywhere.
It's like his Discord name. Sashin. And then he changes it to
So let's just look at this team and let it sink in for a bit. Shall we?
This team got stacked on 2-0.
Look at that Armada on the European team. It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Well, since you mentioned the European team, do you guys want to talk a little bit now about how the teams are a little regional, or the best we can?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so So here's the thing. So in the past, if we've had teams delegated by general region or time zone, that basically assumes that whoever is in that time zone is playing in the evening, right? And for the most part, that has worked. But in the cases where we have like some time zones that there isn't enough people from that time zone to make a full team, example, Australia, or in the case where there are people that actually don't play in the evening or aren't available in the evening, they play in the morning or the afternoon because they work night shift or whatever. I felt like I would like to give a chance to try and kind of like put people on teams based of like kind of like prime time of day for practicing, and like they end up being sort of regional, but they're not completely regional. They're completely based on availability. So I made like I made an availability chart because it's like there were 6 hour blocks that I asked for on the sign up form, and I kind of just like made a block about like how all the time zones overlapped, and then I kind of added people to teams based on what they requested and then like when they were available. So that's kind of that was definitely different this season because we've just done regional or just like based on time zones before. So I think I don't know. I guess like every new season, at least since I've started adminning or being part of the staff, is like we want to try and make steps to make the CPL experience more uniform, regardless of what team you're on, right? Because that's something that was a problem in like the early days of CPL. Is like you lucked out with the team and it would be a really good season, or maybe you had like a team that wasn't as active and then it would like really hurt your experience. So this is another thing that we've decided to try and make the experience of CPL more uniform across teams. So that's like the long answer on that.
All right. So we're looking at this team. We got October Serg as a coach. He's new, right?
Yep, he is new. Wolfix is new as well. Ariador and CRVT have both coached before.
Yeah, and then we have Wolfix. He's a Polish player, right?
I'm not sure. I just know that he's European. I think he's like high rank Terran.
And then
he's one of the players I don't know as well, actually.
Yeah, and then as you can
Coaches.
see, there's 3 players in tier 0 that are bold, and they are assistant coaches. So I see Stanel there.
Stanel's up to assistant coach? This guy's moved up. I remember when he was much lower when he started in CPL. That's fantastic.
He was in RSL too before.
Yeah, he was like the RSL second place winner in like RSL 3 or something, I think.
Yeah.
All right, a lot of our
We've got Olin.
At least
I've seen a lot of chat saying like tier 0 looks OP here, and just looking at it, I kind of have to agree with them. There's a lot of strong tier 0 players there.
You got like Slayers and Kiko always putting so much work. Like just watching them play. So this tier 0 looks really stacked.
Yeah.
So European team gonna win CPL once again, or what?
No. We have this
They've
talk
won the last 3 seasons in a
every
row.
season. Which team's gonna win? And
this team, I'll say like it's the kind of like earlier European time zone team. So it's like it's kind of in order, right? This is like early, like afternoon to early evening, Central European time is like the prime playing time for this team.
Question in the chat we can go over real quick. What do the tiers mean? You kind of break everything up in this season that you're playing someone in like a block of an MMR, like you just asked in the chat, that we want to make the games reasonably even. The tiers don't actually mean anything. It's just organization. People definitely focus on the number way too much, and it's just we have to break off groups somewhere. But it's just that if you're like in tier 2 and you're playing people that are also in tier 2, there shouldn't be any kind of big skill disparity between you. That it should be reasonable. But like the upper end of a tier and the lower end of the next tier they're basically the same thing. So don't sweat it if you thought like, oh, it was in preseason, I was doing really good, but I didn't move up to the tier I was looking for. Like, you're probably still going to be matched up at the top, and you might be promoted midway through. It's just nothing to really sweat. As far as the actual MR ranges, I feel like they keep changing every season, so I'm not going to just like jump in and announce that. You guys can take care of that.
I'd like to say really quickly that if you have a problem with your tier, you can send a direct message to Albert Schlun, aka Ash.Return. He is responsible. No, I'm just kidding.
Him or statues. Right?
Don't complain about your tier. I'll ban you. But seriously, guys, like what Zero was saying, like we get so many complaints about tiers. Like if you're clearly in the wrong tier, there will be a point in the middle of the season where you can apply for a promotion or a demotion. But just for now, just play your games, okay? The matchups are determined by CPL MMR, not solely by tier. The reason that the tiers exist is so that each team is forced to submit a lineup that has a roughly even skill gradient.
Exactly.
And we can't force teams to do that without a system that has tiers. So that's what it is. It doesn't really mean anything more than that. And we get so many complaints about tiers every season, and they're like mostly pointless. So just wait until there's like a promotion or demotion week, and there will be an opportunity to change it. But honestly, like just play your games. It's fun regardless. And the tiers don't really mean that much.
Yeah. We even had a discussion before previously if we could actually somehow remove the tiers, but we came up with the idea like we can't really do it and still have teams submit the same number of players in the same skill range, right? Because if we didn't have the tiers, one team could send all their highest level players, while the other team sends all their lowest level players, and it'll just be every team would be a mismatch, or every match would be a mismatch. This way, at least we can control it and say, okay, there's this many players from each kind of general range, so it should be a much more even matchup.
All right.
Yep. Anyway, I mean this team's got CRVT the librarian, right? So I think they're in good hands, man.
I think so too.
Lots of powerful players and good.
Does anybody have any like shout outs? I know we talked about tier 0 a little bit, but anybody recognize players from tier 1, 2, and 3?
I know last season Hatchery Cake was on my team, the Rats squad, and they were in tier 2 really working hard. So the fact that they're in tier 1 now, I'm very happy to see that.
Yeah, I played Hatchery Cake 2 times last season, I think, and he was really good. Wasn't he tier 1?
He's tier 1 now. He was tier 2 last season.
Oh my god.
I think he was like low tier 2 last season, and now he's tier 1. So.
Or maybe I played him.
I want to give a shout out to Y2 Kid, who also was tier 2 last season and is pushing that tier 1 this season.
He should have probably been tier 1 last season. He had the highest win rate.
Yeah.
I don't think he dropped a game or something. He went like 12-0. I don't know.
Shark.
That's impressive because I don't think we had 12 weeks of games.
Well, I mean, like 6-0, but 12. He won.
Oh, 12-0 in games. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of new tier 3 players. I don't recognize any of those. I think. Are they all Europeans?
No, it's by time zone. So there's a lot of Europeans on this team, and there's also like Eastern time zone players that play in the morning or the early afternoon.
All right.
Or I don't know. It's like it's based on availability. I have a chart about how the time zones line up. I recognize the crowbar, the ID. I think I've seen this person around Discord, which is always a good sign. I feel like if people are like active in the CPL community, there's a good chance that they're going to be active once the season starts. And I think activity is one of the things that counts the most for new players.
Especially if you want to get some coach attention. Like, however the teams do do get organized when things get kicked off. Some people make their own private servers on Discord. Sometimes they just hang out in the CPL one with the channels and everything. But being active goes a long way for coaches wanting to help you out and really want to elevate your gameplay, because they're doing this for free. They're doing this out of the kindness of their heart, and the last thing they want to see is someone asking for advice, not applying it, no practice. They want to know that their investment is worth the time.
Yeah.
And it makes them feel a lot better about it. You being active. If someone can recognize oh man, that person talks a lot, even if you're just being friendly, that goes a long way, I promise you.
That is true. That is very true.
I think I realized I had one more shout out. There's a tier 2 player on this team with the ID Mediocre who was on my team last season. And he was a tier 3 player last season, and he joined halfway through and took a lot of advice from coaches, and I think won a lot of his series through prepping builds really well. So I think a player like that is definitely an asset to a team. Somebody that's willing to prep for individual matches. So shout out to him.
Definitely. All right, so should.
Oh, and I also saw something in the chat just briefly. It's going too fast for me to read it. But why is Sashin and Caps at the top, above Team 1? Basically, for each team, we make sure that there's somebody that's on staff that's responsible for each team in a way. I say responsible really loosely. Basically, they're just there because they have access to the staff room, and then we can it's your staff representative almost. So it's make sure that the admin team is equally split up between each team.
I think that made a huge difference last season. It worked really well, at least in our team. We had Camadas as our admin, and he was doing a great job. So
yeah, I think he was team admin, which is kind of cool. So the staff member is not always a team admin, but they're there if there's any serious issues. They're there to help, I guess.
Yeah. All right. So should we head over to Team 2?
Do it.
So here we go. Team 2. Now this is an interesting team, right?
Look at those coaches. Zeke, Master Ray, 3-time champion. Cryok, Sabbath. This looks strong team for coaching for sure.
Wait, I gotta say it before Aga says it. This team will win CPL 7.
Of course they will.
This team always wins
God.
CPL 7.
How will they not? They got Master Ray and Age on the team.
And Cini, man.
This team's just wild card central. Age with the race, which we're talking about that. We're not glossing that over. You got Borisu too. You got all these Terrans. You got one named a Wild Terran. Come on, this is gonna be great.
Yeah, I switched. I haven't played StarCraft for so many months now, so I felt like it's time to go back to the roots from my vanilla days back in 1998, and so I felt like I'll try some Terran. And well, it's very hard. I mean, the first preseason games I just got wrecked by the guys that went into my group, and yeah, we'll see how this ends up. But I'm in tier 1. I'm a bit surprised about that.
Oh yeah.
That legacy skill, man. We're gonna throw you in there, but yeah, I think this is gonna be good, especially if you guys watched that show match yesterday. Master Ray and Zeke looking really strong at what they do. So, man, you got some good coaches here.
Yeah, and Cryok is a really good
Yeah.
coach for Terrans as well.
Yeah, Cryok's really good. I remember I don't think he was involved in CPL at all before season, or maybe he was. Did he coach season 2? Because I remember I asked him to join on CPL 5 because we didn't have enough Terran coaches, and he's coached ever since then. But I can't remember if it was because he had coached before.
Yeah.
That was why I asked him. Yeah, I think he maybe coached one season a while ago.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
season 3, him and I think Kogut and favorite, and another one was coaching us in season 3.
Age's got the memory.
Yeah, I think that was my first
I
season.
was not around.
So yeah, but he was a really good. If he's active, he'll be a great coach.
Yeah. He's a super nice guy too. And Siki, like specifically, I think I saw some comments in the chat before about like worrying about language.
Yeah.
But he does speak some English, and he's on a team with like all the Hungarian players, and that's why. So that there's like translation if needed. And yeah.
Yeah, and seems like there's some new players in tier 3 here as well. Am I right?
Yeah, I think Rana was around last season. Asriel has been around for a while.
Nathan's been around for a while as well, which that's never a bad thing. There's definitely some people that have been around CPL for an extended period of time, but maybe they stay static in the tier they are. And there's just gonna be people like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with being at your skill level of play. And it's like, this is just, like, they're one of these kind of people that hang around. This is what they do. That's a great thing.
Yeah.
That is people that stay around and just want to keep working at it. Maybe they don't show the results as fast, but that's never a bad thing in my mind. Just knowing people that are around for the community.
Right, yeah, and it's like, I mean, CPL is about improving for some people, but it's also just about playing the game, and it is a format that allows you to get even matches in a situation that's not ladder, which makes it kind of unique in that regard, I think.
It's fun.
Orsu in tier 2, because I swear he'll be a better player the moment he stops memeing half his builds. That's all he's got to do.
Everybody.
That's true. Maybe that's true, but he will have less fun, so I have to disagree with you.
Just get beat the fun out of him. We'll turn him into a real.
Oh, say 0.
So the real question here is, hold on. The real question here is, Age, what are you gonna do with Terran? Are we gonna see a bunch of proxy barracks in people's bases or proxy factories? You can't build a hatchery in there no more. Are you just gonna build command center? What's going on?
We'll see.
I'm
practicing.
gonna-
I'm running some strategies when I'm playing ladder, so we'll see what happens. But I got some real old school
Alright.
boxer shit coming your way, so.
It's
I'm
gonna be
looking
like
forward to this.
it's gonna be the Age Borgisu Labs.
Yeah.
Terran Labs.
I can't wait to see what Age brings in with Terran.
I'm just.
Please, God, no.
I'm gonna buy him. We'll have fun casting it. Whatever it is.
We'll see. I just looked at the map pool. Yeah, when we were revealing the map pool, we'll see. But I don't think any of those maps is good for my kind of cheese plays. So I just think I have to come up with some new stuff. We'll see. I got Cryok and Sabbath on the team, so.
I would like to give a shout out on this team to the tier 1 ultimate friendship duo of Theseus and Butzelbear. I think Butzelbear has been gone for a bit, but he was in season 5, and him and Theseus are good friends, and they're just like both really great guys. So I'm really excited that Butzelbear's back.
Yeah.
And I was so happy making the teams. I was like, I'm gonna put these two on the same team because they requested it, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah, he came back like
they've been
so-
around for a while
a
too.
month ago, right?
Yeah.
Butzel? I think he's in the chat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he hasn't been back for that long. But he's gonna be like, you see him in tier 1. This guy's gonna be a coach by the end of the season if he plays, man.
yeah.
I mean, when he joined, he started tier 3, and he moved up really swiftly. So it definitely wasn't working.
And of course, shout out to Theseus too. He was in the CPL hype video. Did a little interview there
was.
for us. So that was awesome.
Yeah. Really appreciated the people that helped up with that. That was Ocam's made that video. That I don't know. That video was so sick.
Yeah.
They did such a good job.
Insane.
Any other shout outs on this team?
I mean, I always got like the pet players I love casting every time I get to watch, and I mean, Aga clearly, I love casting Aga games. Although Aaron, we'll see if that is there. We always give a shout out to Return, actually the true saint. We don't deserve him. He's put in so much work and helped out in so many situations. I'm pretty sure he doesn't sleep. He's in the chat right now. Like, I don't know when he sleeps, but he's always around. He's helping out everybody.
The Blyman Return only sleep between CPL seasons is actually crazy. I was just talking to Snipe this morning about like is sleep just like a North American thing? Like, yeah. I don't know, man.
It's possible. Other than that, though, I was like watching a quad play. Although, like, it always confuses people because like Brew quad here, he'll be red quad in half his games. It's like, what clan are you actually in? But he plays like a fun style. I like watching his Zerg.
Nice.
He's a nice guy too. I like quad. I think we should probably also just give a shout out to Sendrez because he was tier 3 last season and he's tier 1 this season. So the guy's obviously put in some work.
Definitely.
Yeah, he increases. Jesus. With my ass.
All right, so this is the winning team, of course, and well,
how can we argue? They've won 3 seasons in a row.
Yeah. I was making the teams. I'm like, all these players have to go together. Like, it's got to be Master Ray and Age and Cini.
Yeah.
There's you got to just keep doing it, right?
We do our thing. No one is counting us to win, and then we just go out. And I lose every game, and the rest of the team wins their games.
Yeah.
And,
what was it? Literally last season, you guys didn't win a single thing in the regular season, and then you won every playoff.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I think I lost every single round last season. I didn't play enough, and I just jumped in and filled out the lineups, and I was like wrecked every game. My cheese play didn't work last season, so now it's Terran's time to show off.
Gotta get 2-fac everybody. Proxy star burst, all sorts of crap. Can't wait.
All right, should we go into the team 3?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Here it is.
Let's do it.
Oh my god.
Date 0. Our casting coordinator himself.
I got kicked off G5's team.
Again.
No.
Again.
G5 got kicked off your team, man. I had no choice. Making the teams is hard, guys. It's like a 300-piece puzzle. And you guys all know you all submitted like requests, and then I'm like trying to match the requests with time zones, and then trying to like give everybody the players they requested, and make sure there's a coach of each race on each team, and whatever.
It's a giant puzzle.
It is a giant puzzle.
Hey, I'm actually kind of glad, though, looking at the list, because I didn't see it before right now. I didn't look at all. I wanted this to be a surprise. There's a lot of the Rats boys and girls. They're in this team, and I'm happy to see them go through. And a lot of purple names. Man, why do I got, like, all the random and race pickers in this team?
Draw them all together.
Yeah, this is like the late night European / early afternoon NA kind of team. It's like the transition team. There's a lot of NA players on this team, but there's also a lot of Europeans that like submitted that they were available at night. So it's kind of like a mishmash, I guess.
But I'm definitely excited for some of these guys. Medino played yesterday in that Coach Show match, and they looked like they play fun style. It'll be cool to watch some of their sessions. Our Turtle's been around forever, and like he just always makes so many drones, and I have no idea how he gets away with it. But every time I watch it, it's like it's gonna happen, and then it does. And I'm like, okay, that works. And I know in Tier 0 that Arab, I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced, they kick some ass in preseason, and that's a name I don't recognize seeing, so that's exciting to see.
Yeah, it's cool to have new players in CPL that that obviously just like haven't heard of it before or haven't had the time before because they're already a high skill level.
I'm looking at Jojo. Is he race picking this season?
Yes, maybe. I guess so. He's purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's hired weekly or something.
Yeah, anyone in the chat, if you see a purple name, that is either someone that is dedicated to race picking or they are committing to maybe rotating around the races. We do not allow hard, real random. You're not allowed to just be like with like random in the lobby. Your opponent doesn't know what they're playing against. But these are the kind of people that maybe they do like the chess approach, where they roll a dice and be like, "Oh, I'm playing Protoss this week, I guess." Like they'll do their own thing, but we don't allow the actual random. This is just people that are not dedicated to one race.
JoJo is declared weekly, not race picking. Just FYI, I checked on this.
Last season, he did want to play Protoss. I convinced him to stay Zerg just because we had so few Tier 0 Zergs last season. Because Yenta also played Protoss last season, he's typically a Tier 0 Zerg. So maybe he's going to be playing some Zerg and Protoss this season. That's probably why he's purple here. But yeah, good to see Art of Turtle here as well. I mean, he's a staple of the community. He's been around coaching, helping out CPL for a long time. He was also in the hype video, along with Theseus for a little interview. So good to see.
Yeah, it was really appreciated the two of them doing that. It's like I just like last minute when we were talking about making a video, I was like, it would be really nice to just see some CPL players, right? Like just see people's faces, because we never see anybody's faces. So I was just like asking around for people that were willing, and they were both willing, and I think it added a lot to the video.
Well, I'm seeing some familiar face here. We have Hazelnut in Tier 2, and she's been doing great, analyzing every game she's playing afterwards. And I'm
hoping she gets back to Tier 1. I know last season got promoted midway through the season, so she can work.
I was a little surprised to see her in Tier 2. I don't think.
Yeah, I was as well. Long. Yeah, me neither. I just I look at the Tier 2 on this team, and I just think it sounds like so much fun. Like Grail, like I don't know Plasmatic or Icewind, but Grail, Hazelnut, Magic Bullet, Prime, Eskia Prime, and Hella Bacon and Sage Zero. Like that just sounds like a party, man. I don't know. It sounds like there's also nice people. Yeah.
It can't be a party. You can't make me play StarCraft.
Well, I almost didn't mention your name, but I felt obligated to because you were on the call, you know.
No, you don't have to do that. I saw what you tried to do in preseason. You put me in a Tier 1 group. You're trying to move me up. I refuse to have any part of it. I lost like I should have.
Dude, I didn't have anything to do with preseason, man. I was given a list that had everybody's tiers after week 2 of preseason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Statues and statues and Ash return for handling all that.
Yeah.
I had kind of a family emergency. I couldn't be around, so they handled it and took care of everything. So big shout out to them.
It's all good.
I was around a little bit during preseason, but I was pretty AFK for a reason as well. So yeah, they really, especially return man. That guy, like we said, he never sleeps.
Yeah, he was just updating the preseason like every time.
Every time I sat down to update all the preseason, it was updated, and I was like, okay. Yeah, I mean Medino and Pato. Pato, by the way, guys, he's listed as Terran here, but he plays Protoss just as well as he plays Terran, or maybe slightly less, but really, really close. So he's a great coach for Protoss and for Terran. We've got Medino, we've got Chad, and Aeternum, who hasn't coached CPL before, so I'm excited to see what he's gonna do.
Yeah, and he's an old school player. Him and Chad been around for a long time, and yeah, I think it's great that we have new old school coaches as well. He's been doing great in Clan Wars and so on, so I think he'll do fine.
This is kind of an old school team then, right? Pato, Aeternum, Shad, and Medina.
Yeah.
And Dentarg. Yeah, and Art of Turtle.
And JoJo. Don't forget JoJo.
JoJo, yeah. Super old school. And Arya.
Yeah. And
Ashball, yeah. Yep. No, I think this NCX as well. I was kind of happy just building this team because I was able to I feel like a lot of people that are Europeans always request NCX on their team, and I'm never able to do it because they're not in the same time zone. But because we had this team that's late night EU plus afternoon Eastern, I was able to put these people on the same team, and I don't know. I hope they enjoy it.
All right. So any shoutouts in this team?
I mean, I've already hit a couple of names that jumped at me, but like I said, this has a lot of the members from my team last season, Rats. So I'm just excited to see everyone again. It's gonna be a good time.
Shout out to Ashball for just being amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at that. I'm like, ooh, Ashball. I get to play with him. Maybe my ZVP will finally get better.
There you go. He can teach you any race. He's played all 3 in CPL.
Yes.
That's true.
All right. So should we check the next team?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Here it is.
Team number 4. Warp
Team
Gates.
Warp Game. Look, Unko is back.
Oh.
Coaching.
Uncle is back.
Unko is back.
Yeah, that was nice to see. He has been gone for a couple seasons, but he's back.
Nice.
He is
This
back.
team looks stacked. Jesus. Like, this is actually ridiculous. This team, this is my bet to win right now.
Too many stacked teams around here.
Yeah, lots of I don't know, just lots of players this season, right? I don't know. But yeah, this is like this is afternoon Pacific, evening Eastern, I guess is how I would define the time zone of this team. In case anybody's curious.
I mean, really, this team feels like CPL success story. I think like half of Tier 1 started CPL at a lower tier has worked their way up. Like, there's so many people I've seen at lower ends and moved forward.
Yeah,
So.
if you guys notice, I guess I didn't talk about this before, but I think it's relevant in this team because you see it's got just like so many Tier 1 players. Another thing that I did this season was I had people self-report their activity on the signups. So, because a lot of the times we make sure that like all the players and like everybody has the same amount of players in each tier, but it doesn't always work out to having the same amount of active players in each tier, which can be a problem when you're trying to build lineups. So for anybody that reported themselves as less active or was less active in preseason, I basically just struck them through while I was building the teams, as like counting them as not somebody who I should count on to be available for the lineup each week. So there's a number of those on every team, so that we don't count them against the amount of players that play for each tier each week, kind of, so that you can still be in CPL and play like 1 match or 2 matches and practice with the team, but you're not like obligated to play half the weeks in CPL, otherwise your team's going to struggle to build their lineups. So what happened in this team and why there's like so many Tier 1 players is there's like 4 or 5 even here that like reported themselves as inactive, but like also made team requests. So it's like the way that I interpreted it is that they want to be on CPL and hang out with their friends, but they actually don't have a ton of time to play. So there's some of that in like 1 tier basically of every team. But yeah, that's why the numbers are not exactly even. It's just because I made an account for people that are like planning on being inactive or proved to be inactive in preseason. So hopefully that'll help team admins not be like struggling to fill lineups like they were last season.
All right.
Yeah, definitely a lot of players, though, that have been around the CPL for a while. Excited to watch them play. A little intrigued, Gay Pig, like Doodle. They're switching to Terran for the season. That's going to be fun to watch because I felt like they're a very strong player.
Yeah, he switched to Terran and still dominated in preseason, so it's like he could just play any race at high level, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the reasons he switched is like I think his Protoss might be too good for CPL at this point. I don't know. He's actually on ME. And yeah, I don't know. Especially his PVC, it's pretty good. I don't know.
I guess he's going to become the next Jessica, who just run through all the things, then you're too good to get out of the league.
Yeah, I think he was he had a moment where he was regretting deciding to play Terran, so we'll see how he does with it. But yeah, there's like Keen obviously like longtime CPL coach. And Unco has coached a lot of CPL. Unco actually coached my first ever CPL team. And then Shafir kind of stepped up out of tier 0 last season. He kind of hit A rank, and he's too good to play in CPL now. So he's going to be helping out a bit on this team alongside Brushette.
I mean,
but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I know everybody on this team, so it's hard for me to make shout-outs.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, George always like one of the classic peoples for CPL. It's like this guy got so freaking good in CPL, and just every time he's on a team, you just never want to play against him. He's so strong. Same thing with Seraph. I think definitely moved up, and just a lot of names that have been around for a long time. I like watching them play or cast. Like Siege is always a good time. I like watching Ashen. I remember him back in tier 3. So again, like this is a CPL success story. You can use the team name. I'll give it to you.
Oh yeah, Ashen and Bojack are on the same team this season, which I think is kind of hilarious because they've been on opposite teams since they started, and they've got this like rivalry going, even though they're both in the same clan.
Yeah, didn't they have like that show match together or something?
Yeah, they had a show match, and they like keep track of their record against each other because they kept hitting each other on the first season that we were all in, which was season 4. Ashen was on MCMS and Bojack was on Samyang Fire, and there was like this whole rivalry that happened because MCMS ended up knocking Samyang Fire out of the playoffs and winning the league. So it's like they just have always been in the same tier and like keep matching each other in CPL. So I put them on the same team because they had like requested the same players, and I was just like kind of laughing to myself as I did it because they've been on opposite teams for so long. Also, shout out to Melody because she, I think she wasn't super active last season, but she is a Grandmaster Zerg in StarCraft 2, and even though she wasn't active, she has moved up a tier. So I think that if she ends up having more time this season and plays a lot, I think she's a candidate to improve a lot.
Oh, another crazy.
Yeah, another crazy or another Butzel Bear, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Also noticing that Zeno Akup, he's playing Zerg this season. Haven't he been Terran before?
He played Zerg last season too, I believe.
Yeah, he's played Zerg for a bit.
Okay, I see.
The last 2 seasons, yeah.
Yeah, he gave up Terran. He gave up on that life.
Which is weird because he did so well with
Yeah.
Terran. He won most of his matches with Terran, and then last season he was so excited because he won his first game in the last week of the season, and it was a ZVZ or something. So he's like, I finally got up for my first win. So I was a little surprised to see him keeping up a Zerg, but I guess he really wants to work on his Zerg and improve his Zerg. Super nice guy though, super friendly.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I played with him a bunch.
Definitely.
I've been on his team a couple of seasons. Great practice partner, you know. He helped me practice for my show match, PVT show match too, and all around great guy. Does some team adminning stuff too. So big shout out to him.
And he's done a little casting as well. He just does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know many of these tier 3 players. I shout out to I think Zogern. She was playing Terran last season, and she was in tier 3. It looks like she switched to Protoss this season. She also was not super active, but she's also a StarCraft 2 player. So like that's another candidate for me that could improve quite a bit. Anybody that's like played a lot of StarCraft 2 and decides to put some time into learning builds in Brood War.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see Nagi still in tier 2. I feel like a lot of his games last season, he does have a lot of raw mechanical skill. You know, just occasionally the bat engage kind of ruins things. So if there's gonna be someone at the tier 2 that I would expect to move up, I wouldn't be surprised if it's him.
Oh, and also shout out to Least for being trash.
Damn.
All right.
Team 4 season champs.
Let's check out team number 5, shall we? Whoa. This is Pete's team.
Whoa. Pete team, aka specialist.
This is a pretty good team too. I honestly just gonna be a lot of good teams.
It's just like every team's like, oh, this team's really good. This team's really good. Maybe they
There's
aren't.
just a lot of players in CPL.
And
And
every
also,
team is stacked.
I'm hell bent on calling the staff by the IDs that they don't use in Discord in case you haven't noticed.
This is true.
Yeah, I mean, it's really bad though when you're like, oh, just go message Pete, and a lot of people are like, who's Pete?
Yeah.
Because they don't know the specialist.
We just all call him Pete, and no one knows who he is.
Yeah.
So this is the team that won the Flow Sweepstakes this season.
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like that's a player that everyone wants to hang around. Up to assistant coach, good.
Oh yeah. The last season was so funny. There was like 2 players that, because we actually did like a full draft last season. This season I just opened the request form to coaches as well as players, because oftentimes I think the coaches don't know the players and can't really be bothered to do the draft, so I didn't put them through that this time. But last season, like, every team requested Royal Blue and every team requested Flo, and Flo was like the only tier 0 Zerg that was up for grabs. So everyone wanted him, and then Royal is just like, I don't know, everyone just likes him because he's great. Yeah, it was really funny. We get all these like drafts, and I'm like, wow, this is not helpful to me at all because you all want the same players.
Yeah. No, this looks very strong coaching team. There's Striker and Whip, who are both on NAS A team, and Raz, who was my coach last season. S rank Protoss, like very strong. All 3 of them played in the coaches show match. And
All 3 of them, yeah, all 3 of them kicked butt in the coaches show match. I think Striker went 2-0 against Medina, right? And Whip 2-0'd CRVT, and Raz went 1-1 with Eggio. So go watch that if you're on this team and you haven't watched it.
Yeah. Striker made all the queens in history. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was definitely a good time.
Or something.
Which, I mean, not CPL related, but always a shout out to Jinjin for all the YouTube content we get from him, all the translation stuff. Always super nice to keep the community getting more stuff to look at.
Yeah, I definitely have a soft spot for this this coaching team. Striker was on my team last season. And he's just such a great guy. He did like master classes every couple of weeks. And I'm sure you guys know him from the Zork Help channel, right? Like he's just always down to help people out. And Whip is an absolute clown, but also a really good Terran player and a nice guy.
Whip's good at all 3 races, like
yeah.
High A to S rank with all 3 races. So there you go. He'll be a great coach for you.
Yeah, he's awesome. Don't ask him how to hotkey stuff though, because he just doesn't hotkey anything.
Who needs hotkeys?
What?
Yeah.
S rank, who needs hotkeys?
Yeah, who needs hotkeys?
Another one, Exit Nas. He was asking me for a shout out earlier, so there you go. He's playing Protoss this season because he was Terran last season. He's gotten too good with Terran, so I said you can't play Terran this season. He hit A rank, and I'm like, no, sorry. So he's playing Protoss so he can continue playing in CPL. So interesting to see how his Protoss does. He's still in tier 0, it looks like. So
I'm sure it'll be a good time. And we can take this one little PSA moment. Like we don't bow to terrorism. People asking for shoutouts, we're not doing that in CAS anymore. Like we're not doing this.
yeah.
Not mentioning it for any reason. Saying.
Mm-hmm.
Only for me, right, Sate?
Well, give shoutouts to
Not UCAS. UCAS, one shout out per cast.
About how she's harassing you or something, right?
I get bullied all the time. But I'm excited to watch this team. There's only a couple names I've really recognized casting throughout the season. I cast a lot of T-Toss, Schemos around, GeForce Tesla, Kazi, whatever he wants to pronounce it. I keep forgetting. I ask him every time. I never remember it. Is it good? I don't know, man.
I don't know. I say everybody's name's wrong, so I'm the worst reference here.
But there's definitely a lot of names I do not recognize in CPL, and that's always exciting because that could be really interesting watching some of these players kind of accelerate through if they improve real fast. And then Ranker's always a wild card. He's always a good time.
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Surf in Tier 1. Tier 1 Zerg player. He was on Amigo last season, and super nice guy, and he's a team admin. I think he's team adminning again this season, and he just did a great job, and he was just really pleasant to be around all the time. So shout out to him. And also Jelly Mang was tier 1 last season, I think, and he's tier 0 this season, so good on him. And Koz, I'm surprised is tier 1 because I think he's a super strong Zerg player, and if he keeps playing as much as he has been playing, I think he's going to go up to tier 0 this season.
Yeah, and when he started costing a lot, as in he's been costing a lot recently, I think he gained a lot of experience from that as well, and he just snapped up a bit here and there, and he's becoming really good. He's really strong.
I think I would also give a shout out in tier 3 to Lethian, who he's a tier 3 Terran player, and they helped us get the. I don't know if you guys saw that Artosis actually played the the CPL 7 video on his stream, and Lethian kind of helped Nablime make that happen. So thank you to him for that, and I'm really excited that they're in CPL. Anybody else? Shoutouts?
No, like I said, a lot of newer names on this team, it feels like. So, like I said, excited to keep my eye on this one, but I don't have a whole lot to particularly shout out. But, always the coaches, always helping out with things, helps run the King of the Tiers tournament we do every so often. So, always nice to shout out people like that.
Look out for that maybe next weekend. Wink, wink. Not foreshadowing. No hints there.
All right.
But, yeah.
So we're going into team number 6. Snipes team. Well,
sort of my team. I'm not even playing this season, but Strom literally
I ran out of
admin. She ran out of admin, so she just threw me on this team and said, "You're the admin on this team." I was like, "Okay, great."
Yeah, I made a deal with CPL this season. I'm not actually playing, so I'm gonna be in every team, making sure that things go okay. That was kind of like the trade-off. So I don't have a team. I'm gonna be around, so look for me. Yeah, I'm already dreading it, but also see ya. See you there.
Stack team.
We're allowed to just not play. Damn, let's do that.
Yeah. So yeah, another promising looking team from what I see. I mean,
Yeah.
AGS, very strong Zerg from tier 0. Royal Blue, of course, we were talking about him earlier.
He's the
Everyone
most
gives it up.
popular dude in CPL, man.
Yeah, yeah. Some of these guys I've
Great
played
guy.
with before, previous seasons. So nice to see. Hangs is here. He improved a lot, plays a lot. Who else? We got Attentat, who was our team admin last season. I assume he's team adminning again this season. So
Yeah,
to see
yes.
him around.
And nice man's been around forever. I feel like I see that name constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he started in RSL and he's been around. He's team adminning as well. Like I have the team admins on my spreadsheet above, but I don't think Aggie's got them on the stream. So I'll post that in the team admin channel later for you guys to know who you're team adminning with. Yeah, this coaching team is kind of stacked, to be honest. Like Sugo has been, I'm sure you guys have noticed, he's been active just on the general CPL server lately, like streaming his own games and helping people out. I think he's just a really great coach in general, and a nice guy as well. So, I'm so glad that he's coaching CPL again. And Mars actually just hit S rank yesterday, so shout out to him.
Wow.
Yes.
We've got an
That's
S rank
crazy.
Terran player. We've got we got Whip and Mars, 2 S rank NA Terran players, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's been playing in Turf Wars, and he had a really great record in Turf Wars, like caused some upsets. So he really preps for his matches.
Yeah.
So if any of you guys are like prepping for CPL matches, I feel like Mars would be a really good person to talk to, because whenever he plays a show match, he prepares like every single map. So I think he's probably like a really good guy even to just go to for like tournament advice, even like aside from just specific Terran stuff. So yeah, and then of course Hawk, like Hawk.
I was
super
Hawk's
stacked.
punching bag yesterday. Oh.
Yeah,
He was doing that coaching session. He used me as a punching bag.
Yeah, he's Hawk will like come in and out. But he's just I mean, he started streaming lately. Like I think he's been really active this year. Ever since like he played in BSL 11 and 12 and he won Rogue City Rumble, which is the NA tour. And he's been streaming, he's been active, and he's looking really, really scary. So it's exciting to see him, and he'll be kind of backed up by Sheep, who's coaching his first season. He was in Tier 0 last season, but kind of along the same lines as like Snipe told Exit he couldn't play Terran in CPL because he hit A rank, and we told Shafir he couldn't play in CPL because he hit A rank. Sheep hit like 2050, 2100 and kind of floats around 2K. So we're like, you can't play in CPL this season, so he's coaching instead.
Nope.
You got officially kicked out, you know?
Officially graduated.
Yeah, he graduated. The nicer way to say they signed up and we were like, no, you can't play.
You're too good.
Yeah.
Kicked out sounds better. Go for kicked out.
Booted.
Yeah. But guess this is my team. Although I won't be playing any league matches, you can still come to me for some coaching too. I'm at Tier 0 level, so happy to help out anyone on the team or any teams really. But yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there.
Snipe's babysitting this team. AK.
Yes, sort of.
You guys are fighting. How do I get roped into being like an active roster for a team? What the hell?
You signed up.
That's not active. Like inactive.
Yeah, so when I made the teams, I struck your name and didn't count you against the number of active players, but you're still on a team.
No.
Did you guys not look at the spreadsheet while I was working on it, man? It's like half the players are like crossed through and like everything's all over the place.
In my defense, I've barely been around for the last 3 weeks, so.
I don't think anybody looked at the spreadsheet except for me and Sasha. Really. Yeah.
Wait, you would have went full corruption. I never would have called you out on it. Like you could have been like, "My ridiculous."
I could have just done the teams by alphabetical order. Like I feel like I should have done that.
We did joke about that a couple of times. So.
Yeah. Any other shout-outs on this team? I have like a couple more, but.
I see a couple non-boys in here. Dogloads is one that first one comes to mind. So definitely exciting to see. Like I feel like in CPL you got a couple of the clans that have a lot of players active around. Nam, IRK. I feel like we see a lot of me players. So it's always nice to see there's some people being active here.
Yeah. Escalade. He's on my NSL team. He's like the captain of my NSL team, so good to see him. I've already given him a bit of coaching too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Crazy, CPL staple. He was assistant coach last season and he helped out a lot. So excited to see him back again for more. And also was I gonna shout out? Both Yoet's Flash, who is team adminning. Nice to have that guy around. He's always very, very positive, and I think he'll be a great team admin. And also Gerthang for just like having entertaining games.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I have to do a shout out to my boy Royal Blue. I mean Ethan, he's always doing great in CPL and he's a terrific guy. And
everyone wants him on team. Everyone loves him.
I'm glad he's around.
He's the official winner of the CPL popularity contest.
Yeah, and I was thinking Crazy would be S rank by now, but well, it's cool to get to see him one more season before he hits S rank, I guess.
Well, now he's got Mars, the newest NA Terran S rank, so you got to assume they'll both be up there by the end of the season,
needs to wait
right?
one more season, then it's his turn.
Yeah.
All right, we got one team left, guys.
Team 7 for CPL 7.
Yeah.
Last but not least.
Nebline.
Oh yeah, that's true. There were 6 teams in CPL 6 and 7 teams in CPL 7. Tell your friends about CPL so we can have 8 teams in CPL 8, guys.
Nablime, you betrayed me. You stole my G5. I know.
Great
I
spots with
fucking cracked jokes on it.
The trend of using somebody's the staff ID that they don't actually use on Discord continues. Pretty sure he's not Lemon on the CPL Discord, but he's Nablime to me.
I saw it get timed out by Nightbot or a local Nazi like censorship, but someone immediately pointed out, Chess committed to a race? Yes, he did.
That's some commitment.
Yes,
man.
he did. After a discussion with me, he committed to Protoss.
A discussion. That's awfully common.
A nice discussion.
All right, so
Really friendly.
I mean, we talked about how some of the teams look really good. Are we going to talk about how this has 4 coaches and 4 assistant coaches? What the?
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing, guys. So we've been kind of the last 3 teams have been steadily moving later in NA times, for like practice hours. Now this team is like the middle of the the night Pacific time team, plus the Australian and Asian players that play in the evening, plus the European players that play in the early afternoon or morning. So that's where all of those time zones kind of line up.
This is a crazy team.
Yeah.
Yes, and the thing is that there are 4 assistant coaches that are either Australian or like Fox is Korean. So it's like I can't really put them anywhere else because they all play in the evenings of their time zone. And it's such a difficult time zone to build a team for. So they're all there and they're there to help out and they're there because that's the time that they're going to be around. So Yep.
Well, Garthus is on this team. He was on my team last season. Tier 3. I know he was kind of scared to play out of his tier a little bit, so it's good to see that he's moved up into Tier 1 here. But I also have to give him a shout out for a different reason, because he just followed the channel a few minutes ago, and he was our 500th follower. So there you go. Shout out to Garthus. Congratulations. Hey, thank you.
And
for
a quick
following
reminder, if you're not following CPL, you should do that. Follow
I was
us
getting
on
to that.
Twitch.
Don't
Cool,
forget to
you guys go for me. I don't have to do it for once. Let's go.
Also, go subscribe to the YouTube channel. I will post the link in the chat. There you go. All the CPL VODs can be found there. If you go and scroll through those videos, there are a lot of CPL masterclasses that we did during Season 5, which are just like 3 or 4 hour VODs full of coaching and tips from the coaches, and some of them are still coaching. There's a masterclass from Hawk. There's a masterclass from Models. There's a masterclass from Cryoc. Go check that out while you're waiting for your team to get set up. Is there anything else?
Subscribe to the channel, hit the Ko-fi. There's a lot of work that goes in. If you want to put any kind of support that way, everyone appreciates that very much so. No obligation to do so.
If you are not in CPL yet and you would like to play in CPL 7, you can always join the waitlist. You just fill out the form. I just posted it in the chat, and you will be automatically added to our waitlist, courtesy of Sashin. And we add people from the waitlist every season, so it's definitely worth joining the waitlist because people go inactive. It's a fact of life in CPL.
Yeah, so we do add people throughout the season. If a team's like, I'm having trouble fielding Tier 3, well, we do make use of the wait list. Definitely worth hanging around. And it's not like if you're in the CPL Discord and you're not in the actual league, people are always looking for stuff in the first game. You will find community and games here. It's still worth hanging around, even if you're still just kind of waiting for the wait list to go through.
Yep. Yeah. You can still participate, ask questions, use the help channels, like you're saying. Just it's a good time. You still get involved in CPL even if you're not on a team.
Right. So, looking at this team number 7, and coaches. Glad to see G5 in there. Ayo. Telcom, has he been coaching before?
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen this.
Every season.
Yeah.
And then there's they seem to have a real strong tier 0 with
4 assistant coaches.
Nudblime, Fox,
Yeah, that's
Jill.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. So gotta watch out for this team, and especially with the latency, right? I'm just kidding.
The Australian latency. It's gotten better. Nablime used to be really hard to play against. Always turn rate 8 extra high, but he has gotten better
Yeah.
internet. So there's
It
that.
used to be hard just to cast with them. So
Yeah. There you go. But of course, we got some good coaches. I mean, we got G5. He coached last season. Amazing coach. Amazing guy. Agio, who played Raz in the show match and went 1-1. So definitely very strong Zerg.
those
And
games were
after-
crazy, by the way.
Yeah.
If you did, it was definitely, if there's one set to watch, that's the set to watch.
Yeah. That game 1, that was super good, too, especially. Both the games were really good, but game 1, you got to go back and check that out if you missed the coach's show match. For sure.
Right.
The VOD is on this channel. It will also be on the CPL YouTube. Get that.
Probably, hopefully.
Any shoutouts?
Yeah,
for this
maybe.
team?
Okay, go. Yeah, somebody go before me, please.
Okay, well,
Queen would be my first one. She also helps run the community tiers with Pete, so she does a lot of stuff trying to organize things for the community sometimes. So easy shout there. Chess, a local legend here, and then we got a whole bunch of like old names that have been around for a long time. Another 2 in Yarsino, and just a bunch of people that I know have been hanging around CPL for quite a while.
yeah, you covered some of mine. Good to see some of the Australian boys. Like, I hang out with them in another Discord, too. We kind of good friends, from a couple seasons back, like Chill, Nablime, Jersino. He's New Zealand, but still. Good to see they get to stay together, the Australians.
Yeah.
Caffeine Free, I played with him last season. Very strong. Nice to see him in Tier 0. Who else? Yeah. I don't know. Random Race. Always playing a different race. Looks like he's committing to Protoss for the season. He was hoping to be on my team so I could coach him, but I can still coach you, buddy, if you're watching the stream. You can ask me questions anytime. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout it out. Not because I know much about the player or anything, but user 74003, his Discord ID is user with different numbers, and he's an animal for it. I hate him.
Yeah, honestly, same. I don't even know the guy, but like, you anger me. At least the numbers aren't at the beginning.
So you see, Arcane wins as a purple. I think he used to just be a hard Terran before, right? So I think now it's
I don't know.
a race pack, maybe.
Shout outs to. Okay, so first of all, Wugsa in Tier 1. Tier 2 last season, Tier 1 this season. Think he really wanted to be with Astro. So I'm excited to see what he do. If he's active, I think he will improve a lot. And then in Tier 2, we have Bash, who I think wasn't in last season, right? But he was around back in Season 5 in Operation Indecision, and he's a super nice guy, one of the Australian players. So good to see him. And Grims, also another Australian player that's super nice. And another 2, also in Tier 2, aka 7-8. I think he's on MG, and he's a super, super nice guy as well. So
Yeah. He's been around for a while,
Yeah.
and like seeing him like kind of just keep with CPL is always like one of those good things. Just people, it's like I know how much work you're putting in, so keep it up, buddy.
And character, one of the many ultimate clowns that trolls me in my Discord server. No, but in all honesty, character is a really nice guy, and I'm sure that he will be a fun person to have on the team. He was certainly fun at Amigos last season.
Same with another 2. I've been on his team a couple of times. We're from the same city. He's an awesome guy. We do plan to meet up sometime, when COVID dies down and stuff. Go for a beer or something, but really awesome guy. So he'll be fun on this team as well.
All right. So that's the 7 teams.
So I think we need to address the thing that people, if you're a smart person, 7 teams, how does that work with scheduling?
Yeah.
We need to address that.
So I guess I've been kind of hinting about how long CPL 7 is going to be. So let me just give you guys the answer right now. A 7-team round robin takes 7 weeks. Each team will have 1 bye week. And then there will be a week break. So that's 8 weeks in total. And then there will be playoffs, which will be 3 weeks probably?
3 weeks.
3 weeks worth of playoffs, yeah. So that's 8, 11. So 11 weeks total for CPL 7. Starting next week, because the first matches will go out on the 11th.
Yeah. So after following the stream, we'll add you all onto your teams. You can meet your team, come up with your team logos, team names, and then first lineups will be released, like we said, next Sunday on the 11th there. So.
Does this mean regular season matters? Yeah. Whoever is placed number 1 at the end of the season has a bye in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. So if we end up lost, we won't be thrown out.
No, in CPL, everyone always gets into playoffs. It's honestly like part of what CPL is about is just playing matches and developing teammanship. And I think like cutting off that process for any team really early is kind of unfair.
Yeah, definitely.
To the spirit of the league, because it's not like, I mean, winning CPL is nice, but like that's not really what it's all about. It's about learning and making new friends and finding your own little place in the Brood War community once the season is over. So yeah.
And honestly, it's in your best interest to not do well. It seems to keep happening where the bad team.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say this. If Master Race team finishes last, I think we maybe just cut them out from playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. We'll determine the format of the playoffs based on the placing of Master Race teams.
That's the team. No matter where they finish, that team just doesn't get playoffs. No.
All right, so
no, but
is anyone psyched about the map pool?
Yeah.
You guys want to see it?
Third world confirmed. Did we do it? Did we do it, boys?
Here we go. Maps coming up. Here we are.
No plasma.
No plasma.
Guys, I really, really wanted to add plasma into the map pool, but no, just kidding. I just couldn't make it work this season. Maybe next season we'll work on it. The staff team will have it. We'll have a meeting about the maps.
So I mean, we'll see if anyone was clever watching the Coach Show match. We had them playing on Polaris Rhapsody for a reason. If anyone caught that little sneak preview.
Yeah.
All right, so
yeah.
Do you guys want to know the logic behind the map pool? I can give you a very quick rundown.
Go.
Wow, that sounded awfully judgmental.
Maybe it was.
So,
address the chat's going wild over one map in particular. I think let's address first.
Why is Fighting Spirit in this map pool?
All right, so let me tell you guys a story. So before CPL Season 6, we had a discussion in the staff room because we have always had in CPL usually like 7 maps, and Circuit Breakers and Fighting Spirit we always keep in the map pool, okay? Or in the past we have, because they're like they were like the noob maps, the maps that people that first just start playing customs on US West or whatever. Those are the maps that they end up playing. Stock standard, easy to learn on. Now, when CPL 6 rolled around, one of the things that we decided to do was make the season a little bit shorter to make it easier on, like, less taxing on the staff team. So with a regular season that is 6 to 7 weeks long, we were looking at a larger map pool, and we thought that actually we probably only needed about 5 maps. And because Fighting Spirit has been in the map pool every season and has kind of fallen out of fashion at that point, we decided to include Circuit Breakers and leave out Fighting Spirit. There was like a big discussion in the staff room about that. I know a lot of players were really upset that it wasn't in the map pool. I think it worked out fine. I think the map pool for last season worked really well. But we did end up leaving Fighting Spirit out. But when we had that discussion, one of the things we decided was, like, in the future, we could rotate each season and have, like, one season Circuit Breakers, one season Fighting Spirit, and then move back and forth. So that was one of the reasons of including Fighting Spirit this season. The other reason was that it just got played in ASL again. So it's a current map that just got played in a tournament, and it is a standard map that lots of new players end up learning on. So that's why Fighting Spirit is in there. Then Polypoid and Eclipse, probably like the new golden standard of 4-player and 2-player maps. So I don't think we really have to explain why those 2 maps are in here. I think they're probably going to they're on ladder right now as far as I know, and they're probably going to be on ladder in the reset as well, alongside Fighting Spirit, I would imagine. Now we like to have a 3-player map in the pool, and Sylphid we've had a whole bunch of times in a row, and honestly the pros don't really play on it that much anymore, so because it's not in as many events. Ascension is kind of a bit of a weird map, which people like to have weird maps in CPL, and it was just an ASL, and it's a new 3-player map, so we decided to include that. And Polaris Rhapsody, same kind of deal. It's been around for a bit. It's a little bit less on the standard side because Polypoid, Fighting Spirit, and Eclipse doesn't give very much opportunity for folks like Age who like weird maps. And it's been played in pro tournaments recently, so that's why that's there. And then we have 2 2-player, 1 3-player, and 2 4-player maps.
One of the things we always try to stress for with CPL map pool is it's not like some of these other foreign tournaments. We want there to be a large selection of pro games and like high-level foreigner games that you could watch VODs and learn from, not just have to hope it's just coaches or just like ladder experience, like Plasma. We don't want these kind of like really silly things. Something with a big sample pool, a lot of data, stuff you can study up if you want to like put the extra time into. And all these maps kind of fall into that, other than maybe Ascension. But it's like you gotta have something to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, and it's being played on in like pro tournament right now, and also it was in Turf Wars, and a lot of the NA coaches played in Turf Wars, so they should know it a little bit from that. It's a lot easier for the coaches if they know the maps they're trying to prep you for.
All right, so I guess we'll just have to do with Fighting Spirit then.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's one time. It's one map, and everyone knows how to play on Fighting Spirit. It's not that bad, especially like for all the races. You have like a set plan. You have so many like VODs to study. Like it's fine.
Yeah, actually,
You can definitely get some research reports in there, okay?
We get like
Difficult spaces.
we get people are mad if we include it or not include it. So
I know, right?
I personally don't like Fighting Spirit, and I advocated really strongly for it being in the map pool because I think it is a really logical choice. So there you have it.
well,
Sorry, Fighting Spirit haters. I relate to you, but also it seemed like the best option to me.
Yeah, love it. Great map.
yeah,
Blame it. I support it.
at least one map where you can cheese and fly in with factories and barracks and stuff. So feels good.
I'll be happy with it. Yeah.
Oh
You
lord.
can do that on Eclipse too, build that.
Nah, it doesn't work.
Okay.
I've been trying it on ladder. It doesn't work. It's
Too many people.
What
scout
expected on Eclipse?
everyone is checking their entire main base.
Did you watch the coaches show match? There was a nice TVT cheese on Polaris Rhapsody.
Oh, I see.
That was a fun time. See a question in chat, quite relevant to what we're talking about. How does map selection work for a best of 3 with these maps? We have a set map pool. Like we'll choose 3 of the 5, and they kind of slowly get rotated around throughout the season. So it's not players get to ban out like things. It's not anything like that. Like you'll see in like an ASL or GSL if you watch StarCraft 2. So it's always gonna be a set map pool in a set order. So it minimizes how much you have to practice in a week. It's one matchup. It's against one person, and you have a couple maps to learn. It kind of makes life easier for everybody. It makes learning a lot more efficient.
Yeah. So basically, there's 7 weeks of regular season, and each map is in the first slot, the second slot, and the third slot an equal amount of times, and then you'll see Polypoid like 1 extra time because it's Polypoid. Yep.
All right. Do we have any other questions in the chat?
I have a couple things that I want to say actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think the first one that I kind of mentioned before was I'm going to be around on all your teams. So that's why you don't see a team that's got like my name on the header. So I'll be around to help out and ask questions and kind of deal with team admins and coaches and make sure everything's going smoothly. So I'm not a spy. If you see me in your chat, I'll post it in Discord as well. The second thing is like I want to make a post at some point in the next like probably week. But you guys saw that we made that hype video for CPL 7. A big part of the like work for that video was going through old CPL VODs and finding clips for stuff. Okay, so I don't know if you guys all know this, but there is a clip function on Twitch where you can just like clip if you're watching a CPL cast or anything related to CPL. So I would like to encourage you all to use that clip button. I'm going to make a channel in the CPL server where you can link clips, especially clips that are not from the CPL stream, because we won't have access to that unless you link it to us from like somebody else's Twitch if they're just a community caster. And that will help us make like videos and content for future CPLs and kind of cut down the work of like me and Snipe and Nablime just like like laboring through all these VODs and like trying to find clips to use for videos. So if you're up for doing that, that's super helpful. If you and your coaches are okay with you like recording sessions and you record a coaching session and there's a clip from that and everyone agrees that it's good, you can also link stuff like that. All of those things will help us make more content like that for future CPL seasons. So I'll make that channel soon, but just remember that. Keep that in the back of your mind when you're watching CPL streams. And then the third thing is, so you guys have noticed that the preseason coaching has gone really well for a lot of you. You've been able to show up and get some help from various coaches. I just want to say in general, like I'm going to be working with the team admins to help the coaches come up with like a schedule to be around like every couple of weeks and do a couple hours of coaching with students. But I just want you guys to be aware that when you're getting coaching, make sure you're practicing, make sure you're asking questions and engaging with your coach. It's really difficult for coaches to coach if you're not asking questions and engaging with them and making it fun for both of you. So I know lots of people are shy, but please make friends and make friends with your coaches and like put some effort into that relationship because they're all here volunteering their time to help out with this league, and we all really appreciate it. And as much as you can do to like make that a good experience for them, we appreciate that a lot. So, yeah.
Always a little helpful reminder for people as we're gonna approach the season. Upload your replays to whatever team, like you have a team replay folder. It's gonna be on a Google Drive. Upload them. I don't care if you find it like annoying for all 20 seconds it takes to do it. If you want us to cast your games, we need the replays.
Every season.
Like you gotta do it. You have to.
Win or lose. Win or lose.
Yeah. Win or lose. The bot. Someone just clipped something and the bot timed it out. That bot's insane. I love it.
Nice
Let
job,
me just fix Snipe.
My bot is broken.
It's so fantastic. But seriously though, one of the biggest problems we have a lot of time when we are trying to do casting is when we struggle to find the replays. We do have a little bit of a double check that's like every team has their own replays like drive. So if I don't find it on one, I can usually find on the other. But if I don't find it on either, I'm like, I'm planning to cast you in the next 24 hours. I don't want to have to be DMing you to find them. So like it makes things a lot easier for us, like especially anyone volunteering the casting. Me and the Blonde do it a lot, Cold War Pace as well. But we have some community casters. Make it as easy as possible for everyone else, as best as you can. If you can remember to save them as like whoever versus whoever game 1, game 2, that's nice, but just make sure they're uploaded. It's the only thing that we got to gripe on all the time. And I can tell that it's a lot of you don't do it because with the preseason, I switched it to we're casting 2 groups at a time, because it made it easier to find enough things to have a worthwhile cast. I don't remember seeing more than 6 in a folder out of 10 games played ever, and that's kind of a problem.
Yeah.
Now we say everyone upload.
Yeah, everyone
just
uploads,
so
both
we
the
make
winner
sure we
and
get
the
them.
loser.
Win or lose.
Yeah,
Just to make sure
there's
we got it.
always. Yeah, and we always get complaints about like X game didn't get casted or like whatever. It's like, well, upload your
If
replays,
anyone-
guys, please.
Yeah.
Like,
'Cause
yeah.
sometimes people forget to, you know.
Mhm.
It happens. But on the topic of casting too, if you want to cast this season, I mean, we're gonna have tons and tons and tons of games. There's no way they're all gonna get casted. So if you do want to cast, contact State Zero, contact any one of our casting coordinators. They can get you set up. They can get you into the casting channel, give you the rundown. We have a lovely spreadsheet that State Zero makes up every season. That you can just sign up, pick the time you want to cast, pick the groups you want to cast. Boom, there you're good to go.
And if you don't want to pick stuff, you don't have to. You can just be like, I want to cast, like, I play Zerg. I want to cast for 2 hours. I'll find you stuff to work with. I do it for Stormcrawler every time she wants to cast something. I'll do it for anyone that wants to do it. You're putting the work into cast for a couple hours. I'll do the 10 minutes to find you something worthwhile.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah. I was gonna say like one last thing, guys. You're on the CPL Discord. You have to be on the CPL Discord, and the announcements channel at the top. Keep that unmuted and read everything that we post there, okay? Because we actually post important things there. I know sometimes it looks like a wall of text and you don't want to read it, but we use the announcements channel honestly as sparingly as we can, and everything we put there is actually important.
Yeah.
So please just bite the bullet and read it when we post stuff in announcements.
Mute anything else you want, but make sure you leave that one unmuted.
Yeah, literally, like my CPL Discord is like almost everything is muted, but announcements is unmuted, and I'm even staff. Announcements is unmuted, like the staff stuff is unmuted, and like CPL help is unmuted. So like definitely, there's a lot of channels on CPL, and if you're not super active on Discord, mute a whole bunch of them, but leave announcements open and read the stuff we post there because sometimes it's really really important, and usually it's at least important, or always it's at least important.
Real quick, if you're going to start muting a whole bunch of stuff, don't mute coordination either. Okay? That's how a lot of people find how they're going to contact the person they're playing with and organize things. Some people do it through DMs, some people use that channel. So do not mute that channel.
Yeah. Definitely don't mute announcements, though. You can coordinate through DMs if you want. That's fine. But yeah.
Just make sure you reach out if you're going to mute them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So questions in the chat, I guess.
Yeah, we got
had
a
any
question about the
questions.
wait list. We talked about that before, and well, if you want to get in, sign up on the wait list, and well, I think you add people in order whenever there's a free spot, right?
Yeah, basically, if say some team comes to us and they're like, "Oh, we're short on tier 3 players or something," we'll just take like the next tier 3 player that would fit in their time zone range, kind of thing, right? And say, "Okay, here you go," and add them into the team. And now they have another tier 3 player, and they can build their lineup. So.
Yeah.
I remember seeing in the chat at some point, when does the season start again? They missed when we said it before.
The first matchups will go out on the 11th. So something else that's relevant is like, we're putting in your Discords today. Please, your team name and team logo, if you guys can have that finished by like Wednesday or Thursday, we need to slap that stuff on the graphics to go on Team Liquid. So do not waste time deciding a team name and making a logo once we put you in your team Discord. This first week that's free for you guys is really so you can spend that time and get your team set up the way you want it to be set up. Decide your name and logo, and gives a chance for everybody to just kind of get coordinated and organized. So it's not a week off. Don't waste the time.
Yeah, and speaking of that, there is also an event coming next weekend too. King of the Tiers will be here, for those who are wondering. I saw a couple questions about that earlier. King of the Tiers will be here on Saturday, so look out for an announcement about that probably sometime midweek.
Nice.
Pete and Queen will be working on that, so definitely sign up for that if you're interested in playing.
Really nice. All right, guys. So if there's no other question, well, then should we wrap this up?
Yeah, I don't think we see any more questions in the chat. I think a lot of people, if they're new to CPL, it's pretty intuitive how it works. A lot of people have been around for a while.
Yeah.
Always like to see it keep growing. I think before we wrap everything up, we definitely got to do some shout outs to a lot of people with the staff helping out with everything, because a lot of work goes in behind the scenes to run this for everybody, and they love to know that they're being appreciated. So like we did a hearts for return in the chat before, but everyone, if you just could say some kind words, like say thank you for everyone putting in the time to do this, the coaches, the staff, like everyone doing something for you, we definitely appreciate it.
So there are a couple more questions. Sorry. About asking. There's one asking about the CPL Discord. Yes. So following the stream, every player will get added into a CPL Discord. From there, some teams like to stay on the CPL Discord. Some might make their own, but we will add everyone on the team into that Discord to start. Like following the stream, you'll start appearing in your teams. It'll take us some time. I mean, there's 300 players we're doing this to, right? But following that, like I said, some teams decide to stay there. Some may move to a new Discord, and from there, just get to know your team and over the next week, and there will be the map pool. Oh yeah, sorry, that's the other thing I was going to say. The map pool will be posted on the CPL Discord under a new channel that will appear shortly. Season 7 rules, so it'll go over some of the rules and like season length, number of players per team per tier, stuff like that. The map pool will be there for you to download, which will have both the OBS versions and the regular versions of all the maps in CPL.
We could probably post a screenshot of the teams in that channel too, huh, Snape?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, because people are wondering if the teams are going to be written somewhere. I mean, you'll have your roles, so you'll know what team that you're on, but we can post the shots of the CPL sheets with the preliminary teams as well.
Oh, since Snipe just mentioned the rules channel, something we kind of need to stress, because it started becoming a little bit of a problem last season. There is a deadline to play your match. It's on Sunday. We post the time. I believe it's 3 p.m. Eastern, unless we're moving it.
It's 3 p.m. Eastern, and if you don't have your results in by 5 p.m. Eastern, and you're not in game that you started at 3 p.m., there's going to be issues, and it's probably going to result in a walkover. Like, play your games by 3 p.m. We've been really lax on this in the past, and we can't keep being lax on this. It's a 300-person league. So play your games by the deadline. Contact your opponents as soon as the lineups come out on Sunday night or Monday.
Yeah, there's definitely been instances of someone's like no communication about what's going on, or like, can we play a little bit late, and a little bit late to them it's like 7 hours. Not that we are not being lax and like accepting all that kind of stuff anymore. We want everyone to play their games. We don't want to do walkovers, but to keep this running functionally and keep the lineups going out at a reasonable time for every week, we have to draw a line. The deadline is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can look it up on a world clock if you don't live in America, if you're not sure where it is. And if you have absolutely any issues, try to contact staff. The earlier, the better.
Yeah. Or your team admins. Team admins, ideally. But yeah, if you haven't started your game by 3 p.m. Eastern, you are in danger of having it be a walkover or a draw. Okay? So play your games on time. Yep.
Definitely.
All right.
And if there's anything
is there any
that's
other questions?
Unclear, there is a channel on the CPL Discord that says CPL7 Help. If you have any questions, you should just post them there, and I guess you admins respond to everything there.
Yep. Like we said, Return is awake 24/7, so he will be happy to get to your question as soon as you post it.
Sit back and relax and wait for Return to return.
I've never met Return. I think he's actually a bot.
Yeah. And if you ping me, I will answer very crankily like 4 hours later. No. It's fine. Definitely ask questions if you have them. Just while like State Zero was talking about giving shout outs to like coaches and staff, I just want to take a minute to give a shout out again to OCAMs for making the CPL 7 video. I'd also like to give a shout out to Dada78641, who has been helping us with some graphics behind the scenes, and also Teddy Bear Toss, who has been helping with graphics behind the scenes. I'd also like to give a shout out to all the team admins, which I'm actually just going to take a quick second and say all of their names so that you guys remember them. and also thank these people because they're going to be putting a lot of effort into making the teams run smoothly this season. Okay, Zun, Camodaz, Tai2, Zoe, Shiba Terran, Masuki, Shimmer, Jakester, Grail, Xeno Acoop, Bojack, Seraph, Jellymang, Forte, Surf, Attentat, Nice Pants, Yo It's Flash, Garthus, TT Kinetic, and Jarcino. Okay? These team admins are essential, so be nice to them.
Every team's gonna have a couple to work with. When we post like all the info about the teams, you'll see who you're working with. But yeah, any questions? It's like I don't know where to upload my replays. I can't coordinate with someone on the opponent's team. Any of these issues, team admins first. They're the first line of defense to make sure the league runs smoothly.
Definitely.
All right. And also thanks to Age for our wonderful host, of course, hosting the CPL team reveal stream.
Yeah, and a big thanks to you guys. I mean, without you guys, I bet there wouldn't be any CPL. So I think we all should give some love to Strumcon, Snipe, and Set Zero in the chat. And
LS.
Yeah, you're doing a great job, and I'm just as I've been every season. I'm really psyched about playing again and see how much of a fool I can make myself. So yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so let's just get ready for season 7, shall we?
Season 7 hype.
Week to go.
I'm gonna post the video. I'm gonna post the hashtag frogs for CPL 7, guys. Can we all pressure Pete to change his avatar, please?
Everyone just DM Pete to get a frog.
Yep.
All right. So thanks everyone for watching. Have a great evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are, and we'll see you soon again. Love you all.